Hello there everybody, it's Babel, and welcome back to Tokyo Babel. Now then, let us return and regain what footage I lost, which is about maybe 5 more minutes. And the good news is the weather looks fine, so hopefully there will be no power outages this time. I'll be sure to tell you guys when exactly the power did go out, so... As I reached out to push the gym doors open, I suddenly felt a chill run down my spine. Someone was waiting in ambush on the other side. Someone who felt no need to hide their abundant magical prowess. It was neither Lilith or Sormi. Belial, no, not him. Naturally, it wasn't Samael, the Serpent of Death, either. Which left Astaroth, or possibly... I felt vaguely confident in my assumption that neither Astaroth nor Samael, or even Lucifuge, awaited me beyond those doors. The flow of magic I perceived from the other side felt clear and vibrant like a forest stream, intense like raging fire. I opened the door and came face to face with him, standing there in the middle. The commander of 12,000 angels of destruction and a living incarnation of the might of God, Samael. The angel's expression remained stern and unflinching. Next to him, Lilith and Sormi lay on the ground, their hands tied behind their backs with a group of angels pointing swords at their necks. One word from Samael and their blades would strike. Lilith could possibly survive the ordeal, but not Sormi. Samael sighed and gave one of his underlings an order. As usual, Sormi was still, well, being Sormi. I felt my heart race fast in my chest, to the point of being painful. Raziel hugged her own body, her eyes widening in terror. There was no mistaking it. She was trembling with fear. His words were like a dagger in Raziel's heart. The very air in the room seemed to freeze over as the angels all glared at Raziel, their expressions heavy with emotions that could be either fear or contempt. Fat beads of sweat trickled down Raziel's forehead, color gradually draining from her cheeks. Samael's expression remained devoid of emotion, while Raziel's reflected deeper and deeper hues of bewilderment with each passing second. The Serpent of Death, Samael. But Samael died. That must have been the fake one. Raziel collapsed onto her knees, unable to comprehend Samael's so-called truth. I stole a glance at Raziel, still blinking in surprise, and saw her trembling, but not because she might have felt bemused or angered by Samael's lies, which would mean that Camiel must have spoken the truth. Please, Raziel, deny his claims. I'm begging you, say he's wrong.
答えろ、ラジエル。あの震災が起きた時、お前はどこで何をしていた？
私は本を。
She clasped her hands together, almost as if in prayer.
答えろ、ラジエル。お前はあの本に何を書いた？
セファーラジエルには世界のすべてを、神の秘密の名を関する私が知ることすべてを。
それは俺だって知っている。だがわからん。一体お前はなぜ、どうして天使たちが笑いながら殺し合い、笑いながら己の首をかき切り、ただひたすら歌い続けるあの光景を。
You know what, I bet if I went with the true ending, I would have completely missed out on actually witnessing that.
知らない。私は何も知らない。本当に何も知らないの。
カマエル、信用するのか？あのサマエルの言った言葉を信用するのか？
ああ、彼女に筆記させた。ヤースリエルの70本の性質で真実のみを記させた。俺が伝えたのは彼女が記述した真実だ。
Yasriel's sacred pens were said to be able to write down the true name of God, a name kept hidden even from the angels themselves. Whoever used the pen was incapable of writing anything but the complete truth. Okay, maybe it was a little bit more than 5 minutes that I lost. Raziel was overwhelmed, seemingly having understood just how much power Yasriel's pen held.
理解できたか、ラジエル。お前がなぜ記憶を喪失したのか、それが虚偽なのか真実なのかは、もはやどうでもいい。
Camiel spread his mechanical wings, his frigid expression the noose around Raziel's neck.
お前は罪を犯した。贖いのために生きる必要は、もはや存在せぬ。
Camiel spread his arms wide, his cuffs spitting out his twin weapons, the same ones Raziel had told me about before.
死と罰。これこそ、今のお前にふさわしい処刑道具だ。
Not gonna lie, I freaking hate this chair. His right hand wielded an executioner's blade, a massive bulky thing without a pointed tip, its purpose only to decapitate the foes that dared stand in its way. Camiel called it death, and his left hand rested a revolver with a brilliant silver glint. The so-called Peacemaker, a famous gun designed by Colt, both the weapon and its name heavily associated with the United States. This was Retribution.
選べ。解く。選ぶのだ。死を与えられ、首を切られることを望むか。罰を与えられ、穴をうがたれることを望むか。
My ragged breathing had already evened out. My heart was calm once again.
ラジエル！
For a brief moment, I had trouble finding the right words. There were a myriad things I should have told her. That I'd be by her side, that I wanted her to flee. But I somewhat knew none of those words would reach the very core of her now turbulent heart. So I yelled the
逃
following.
げるな！逃げずに戦え！前を見ろ！受け入れろ！それからどうするか考えろ！
And this is where the power went out, oddly enough.
敵対するか。天道説が。情はあれば、情けはかける。
それで構わない。さあ、来い！
Brandishing the Picati sword, I lunged forward to split the angel's head open with a single blow. He met my advance with death and retribution. Camiel swung his terrible blade with all the power he could muster, yet his expression remained frigid as steel. My sword was being repelled farther and farther away from his head. His roundhouse kick landed a clean hit on the side of my head and sent me flying all the way back to the wall. Spin, turn, land. Using the wall I'd just been blown into as a foothold, I lunged forward.
怠惰の罪、労働なき富を持ちて、永劫の眠りにいざない。
I summoned forth the molten gold sloth to buy myself some time.
天使を相手に7歳の獣とは誠に愚かである。
Camille fired from his peacemaker, right into the blob of molten gold, his 6 shots pinning its entire mass to the wall. However, this did manage to buy me some time. By the time Camille realized what was going on, I had already freed both Sormi and Lilith. The only purpose of the molten gold was to distract the angels standing guard near the girls. All I needed was one brief moment where their awestruck gazes were directed at the raging battle. The angels had soon regained their composure. Sormi hastily scurried behind my back as Lilith took her stand right next to me.
いくら不死身でもね、痛いもんは痛いんだからね、カマエル。
リリス、お前のザレ言に付き合う余裕はない。ラジエルを置いて立ち去れ。お前とてこの震災で被害を受けたのにかばう義理もないだろ。
ああ、そうか。そういう認識か。そうなら仕方ないな。
なんだ、何が言いたい？
いくつか訂正しておいてほしいことがあるわ。一つ、私は震災で被害を受けたけど、あなたたち天使と違ってそれほどじゃない。まあ、スミカが海の底になったくらいだし、どっかから原子力潜水艦でも引っ張ってきて暮らそうかなーとも思ったけど。
ね。
ふざけるな、リリス。
ほら、私はいついかなる時も本気だけど。それにね、私の褐色の脳細胞がささやくのよ。
Lilith playfully tapped her own head.
何？
面白くない。たかがラジエルが黒幕なんて展開。いやもう全くもって面白くないわ。この震災はね、もう少し大物が動いて叱るべきじゃない？
Camille's expression underwent a notable change, his gaze practically staring daggers into Lilith.
どうやら所詮悪魔は悪魔だということがはっきりしたわけか。失望したぞ、リリス。
And angels will always be angels, you self-righteous prick.
失望するのは勝手だけれどね。戦うのも勝手。そして逃げるのも勝手ね。
何を言って。
Both Camille and I watched in astonishment as Sormi, who had been behind me all this time, and the crouching Raziel simply vanished from the gym and our sight.
真理は時の娘、欺瞞は闇の娘。
バカな、いつ入れ替わった？
Nice!
セツナが怠惰の獣を召喚した瞬間、二人の偽物を作って代わりに本物二人を逃がしただけ。
Good move there, Lilith.
僕が助けたのは
偽物よ。まあでもだからこそ二人を逃がす時間が稼げたわけだし、よしとしとくわ。
Lilith flashed a broad grin my way. She was entirely too reckless. Just as I was about to part my lips and warn her, Lilith's head was sliced clean off. It tumbled downwards and rolled across the gym floor. Her body kept standing there, looking all lonely without its head. Lilith's voice pulled me back into reality just in time.
あらひどい。
お前も偽物というわけか。
いやまあ、偽物というならこの東京バベルに存在する私は全て偽物だけど、これはその中でも特別粗悪な代物よ。粘土こねて作っただけだもん。
Seeing her decapitated head still carrying on a conversation with us was quite a gruesome sight, truth be
と
told.
いうわけでセツナ、後で東京バベルで合流しましょう。こいつは任せるわ。自分で判断しなさい。
わかった。
あとはよろしく。
Lilith's body collapsed onto the floor while her decapitated head crumbled to a fistful of black dust.
残ったお前は本物か。
そのようだ。
Camille exhaled a sigh.
本来ならばお前と敵対する必要はない。俺は今すぐあのバカとラジエルを追いかけなければなら。
Yeah. Sorry. Not gonna let you touch her.
ラジエルにあだなす以上 僕にとってあなたと敵対するのは決定的だ。
そうか。ならばもう何も言うまい。君は罪人である。咎人である。そして人ならざる者である。
Kinda mean, but okay. Camiel's eyes burned with crimson passion, his overwhelming bloodlust sending a chill down my spine.
構え。あなたの言う通り、確かに僕は罪があり、咎がある。だが僕は、それでも僕は。
I would continue to press onwards to face the truth head on, whatever it might be.
そのために、ラジエルを殺させるわけにはいかない。
市場が入っているな。天道せず。
Camiel's lips curled into an amused smile.
否定はしない。
いいだろう。たかが人間などと侮ることなどせ。正々堂々お前を打ち倒す。
かつてモーセに敗北したからか。
I could see the angel's raised eyebrows twitch.
その話は二度とするな。いいか、二度とだ。今度は絶対に油断するものか。
He still appeared to be tormented by a defeat from over 2,000 years ago.
まあ、ともかく。行くぞ、構え。
来い。
Camiel swung his executioner's blade, aiming to take my head. It may have been due to the angel's inhuman strength, but the sword reminded me of a spinning rotor blade. I evaded it, escaping his downward slash by a hair's breadth. Or so I thought. A violent wave of pain invaded my body. It took only a second to realize why. I was struck by the shockwave left in the wake of Camiel's swing. His blade could utilize even wind pressure as a formidable weapon. Coming up with a counterplan took only seconds. I swiftly conjured up a protective barrier made of air. The barrier took the brunt of the incoming shockwave, diverting it to my left and right and ultimately dispersing it. It enveloped the whole of my body without affecting my movement. I just barely managed to keep him in check by summoning the 7 beasts. I was like a sitting duck here. His steel, a wicked blade that no doubt tasted the blood of countless sinners over the years, met my Pekati sword in a violent clash. The two blades had quite a bit in common. The Pekati sword feasted upon the taint of many a soul succumbed to the 7 deadly sins, ultimately reduced to a steel most wicked. I couldn't help but internally chuckle at the irony of a false god and a leader of angels each clashing with their tainted blades. The executioner's blade sliced through the very air with a hiss as Camiel's war cry shook the halls of the gymnasium, with even its shockwave serving as dangerous tools. His steel truly was death incarnate. In fact, it felt akin to battling a dozen grim reapers, each with a scythe thirsting for my blood. Every single attack carried the threat of instant death, and even if I evaded them, each strike was followed by shockwaves powerful enough to obliterate my entire body. The only reason I managed to hold my own against such an onslaught was largely due to the magical barrier of air I had erected. This was primarily thanks to my attacks being ever so slightly superior to Camiel's. Even still, it was more of a matter of affinity. First off, in terms of reach, Camiel was by far in a more advantageous position. The same could be more or less said I had a stroke. The same could more or less be said of the speed of his swings. However, our difference in reach did not directly put me at a disadvantage. Camiel's blade was entirely too enormous. If only I could get close enough to him to avoid being struck down by his blade of instantaneous death, I would have the upper hand. Tightening my grip on the sword handle, I launched a swift thrust aimed at Camiel's throat, allowing my mind's eye to calmly visualize the moment the blade would be buried in his flesh. Could I pull it off? The tip of my blade wavered for a heartbeat. Camiel evaded it by simply inclining his head to the side. He blasted me away, not with a swing of his sword, but a kick. I crashed on the basketball hoop and backboard, shattering it to a myriad pieces. I wiped away the trail of fresh blood that trickled forth from my mouth. Camiel was right. Even I myself had wondered whether or not I was truly giving it my all. I knew he was not an opponent I could topple with a half-hearted resolve. But my heart simply wouldn't let me. Seemingly irritated, Camiel lunged forward with the sword in hand as I still lay on the ground after his previous attack.
臆病ではなかったか。だが愚か者だ。この俺に破壊天使の指揮官たるカマイルの言葉に異を唱えたいならば。
He spoke the truth, no question about it. I rose to my feet, once again brandishing my sword after I spat out a mouthful of blood and saliva onto the ground. I had no intention of killing him. However, I would defeat him here, even if that could lead to his death or the permanent expiration of his soul. I would be willing to shoulder that sin. Camille must have felt the same way.
さあ来い、クソガキ。
行くぞ、赤じじい。
Once we had each graced the other's one-liner with a half smile, we lunged forward into battle. Steel clashed with steel, sparks blossoming between them with renewed fervor. Camille's executioner sword flew swift and heavy. My Picati sword flashed its steel to meet the angel's blade.
養殖の罪よ。良心なき快楽、知恵も誇りもなく、ただひたすら食らい尽くす汝が姿を世に示せ。
With our blades still locked together, I summoned one of the 7 beasts. The monster grew in size until its head brushed the ceiling, then lunged towards Camille. The angel clicked his tongue in irritation, then skillfully pumped the abomination full of bullets, stopping its monstrous advance. My eyes had finally opened. I understood the underlying power behind Camille's bullets. They were indeed retribution incarnate. To put it in simple terms, it was a crucifixion. No matter the opponent, the bullet bound its target in place, ushering its inevitable demise. If he ever hit me, I would be paralyzed. The fact his weapon was forged as a handgun proved to work in my favor, though. As long as I kept a close eye on the muzzle and the trigger, I could potentially evade his shots. In the end, taking a shot here would hardly be different from a regular human getting gunned down. I would die just the same. With that thought as consolation, I decided to focus on just doing my best here. My race on dare existed to overthrow the impossible and would grant me the power necessary to prevail. If my opponent wielded sword and gun, I would do the same. I didn't even need to perform the incantation. My weapon would be created not to trample over him, but merely as a counterplan to combat him with. As such, I only needed a tiny amount of time and magic. Camille's blade changed direction mid-swing to repel the bullet I fired.
そちらがピースメーカーならば。
史上最悪の銃を携えるか。貴様。
Ooh, the most wicked gun in recorded history? Whoa! I pulled out the assault rifle in question, infamous worldwide as a gun responsible for countless lost lives. 1947's Kalashnikov, commonly known as the AK-47. The model with a shortened stock.
面白い。とことんまで俺と殺し合ってくれるか。
A second later, we each pulled our respective triggers, propelling a .45 long Colt bullet and a 7.62 by 39 round against each other, both amplified through magic. With no cover in sight, I continued to evade bullet after bullet while running at full speed, all the while gaining distance from the angel. With each of Camille's shots were equivalent to instant death, my bullets would only inflict meager amounts of damage on us. My magazine of 30 rounds emptied in the blink of an eye. As I proceeded to reload with one hand, I once again called upon the 7 beasts with the Picati sword on my right.
記憶の鏡騎士召喚。
A moment later, I conjured up a myriad illusory copies of myself.
幻影か。シャラ臭い。
His golden bullets and colossal blade eviscerated all opponents save for one. In other words, the real me. The flashes of my fully reloaded Kalashnikov's muzzle lit up the room into fireworks.
捕らえたぞ。
Camille dodged each bullet without even breaking a sweat, then pushed the tip of his gun to my head.
チェックメイト。
それはどうかな。
We shared a smile, pulled our triggers, and let loose even more bullets. My illusion took Camille's bullets head on, dropping its Kalashnikov to the floor as it shattered to pieces.
後ろか。
Camille attempted to spin around, but ended up being far too late. I was already upon him. It was a simple trap, all in all. I kept one illusion to myself, gave him the Kalashnikov, and made him fire it. As the bullets themselves were real, Camille assumed the illusion was the real me. Using the moment when the illusion shattered to pieces as an opening, I made my way behind Camille. and for a brief moment I slipped into his blind spot, yet that one moment was enough. I let myself collapse horizontally onto the ground. I delivered a slash aimed at Camille's defenseless shins right in front of my eyes. He immediately leapt upwards to evade it, pulling both his legs up as he took to the air. Good. This is all according to my calculations. With exact, precise movements, I forced my blade to a halt in the middle of the slash, pointing the tip of my sword at Camille. And so I sang the words.
嫉妬の罪情念にして怨念の腐肉は鎖となりて汝が愛するすべてを縛り付けろ
Hello! The chains surrounding the monster, made from the entrails of humans, emanated a rancid stench as they coiled about Camille's limbs, body, and even sword, restraining his movement. Needless to say, the angel could slice his shackles open with ease. Still, it gave me a momentary opening. Camille would endeavor to cut himself open and gather his strength to accomplish the task. During this brief moment, this hair's breadth of a split second, I would ready my blade and lift it to bury it deep in the angel's neck. Yet in the last moment, I halted, choosing not to take his life.
俺の
負けだな構える
Irritation flashed across the angel's features.
ああ畜生人間に敗北するのはこれで2度目だ
The first time was Moses. Based on what I had heard, though, he was quite the extraordinary
言
man.
っていいか
構わんだが一つ聞かせろお前はこれからどこに向かう
Where indeed?
僕の意志でこの東京バベルを踏破する
In other words, all the way to heaven. In order to unearth the truth, to accept whatever it could hold.
そうか当面おわん行け行ってしまえこのバカ野郎めが
Well, shit, that was easy. Soon I would. But first, I needed to say this.
一つ知らせておく
なんだ
サマエルはアスタロトに殺されたはずだ
何を言っている
リヴァイアさんがそう証言したサマエルはアスタロトと戦い滅ぼされたはずだと
では我々が捕獲したサマエルは何だ
それはわからないだけど僕もサマエルと会って戦ったつまりアスタロトに滅ぼされたはずのサマエルがどうしてか東京バベルを徘徊しているということになる
Seeing Camille trying to stand up, I offered him my hand.
アスタロトに問いただすだがセスナお前はすぐにパンドラを去った方がいい
He was right. Camille might have let me go, but the lower-ranking angels wouldn't be so forgiving. As for the demons, with a select few exceptions, they could not be trusted.
そのようだ
短い付き合いだったがお前が巡礼をこの東京バベルを踏破することを心より願っている
No. Thanks, bro.
僕がヤルダバウトでも
神ではないし横島でもないさお前はな
Smiling, Camille sheathed his weapon and turned away. I did the same.
行ってこいセツナ
あ
Thanks, bro. Exiting the gymnasium, I bolted down the hallways with a sense of purpose while trying to get in touch with Lilith.
ギリス今どこにいる
黙ってルキフグスに探知されるもう完全に敵に回りやがったわあの昆虫症どもめおまけに私たちが震災を引き起こしたことになってるああもう
Well, shit! Much as I had expected, Astaroth was planning to drive us into a corner. He claimed we were the culprits behind the calamity? I couldn't even laugh at a joke that bad. Until Camille managed to get things under control, we'd continue to be hunted like criminals.
いいよく聞いて影に入っちゃダメよルキフグスは影の内部なら自在に転移してくるから
Shadows? That was bad news. Really bad. After all,
無理だ は夜だぞ。
Oh no. The light bulbs adorning the ceiling shattered one after the other with an audible pop, cloaking the hallway in darkness, letting the shadows invade the world.
さっきまでしまった。ルキフグスはアスタロトが集めたマジックアイテムの管理人でもあるんだった。
The hallway had completely been enveloped by the coming darkness. Even the tiny emergency light ended up completely shattered. Move! I needed to move, and fast, if I wanted to live through this. The Picati sword could help illuminate the vicinity. All I had to do was summon the flames of wrath. At least, I should have done that. But for some reason I felt my entire body paralyzed, frozen in place. I could make out something that resembled the faint rustling of clothes being dragged into the distance. The far, far distance. I needed to flee while I still had the chance.
No.
It had come really close. I suddenly recall what Lilith said, how Lucifuge can move freely within the shadows. On the field of battle, a certain level of fear was always necessary, for it was fear that drove us to remain careful and vigilant. It was fear that ultimately allowed us to muster the courage needed to overcome it. Yet the fear that coiled about my heart now was pure dread of an entirely different hue. All my eyes could see was darkness, black and deep as the night, yet I could feel something moving within it. I tasted the dread of knowing that whatever it was, it lusted for my blood. I feared all sounds, unable to tell whether they were far away or close by. Closing in, drawing further away. Right by my side, and in the distance. Closing in, closing in, closing in. I felt myself coming under the influence of a sort of hypnotism. Wasting no time to respond, I immediately swung my Picati sword in a wide arc, and hit nothing but empty air. Beads of sweat rolled down my forehead, possibly due to the fear. I gripped my teeth, determined to endure. I felt a presence around me, but at the same time I didn't. Its voice sounded both far away and frightfully close, almost like it was standing right next to me, all the while being nowhere at all. God damn it. Where could... A moment later, I felt a jolt of violent pain in my face as something sent me flying with an attack. What in the world just happened? Then came another explosion of pain in my stomach. I steeled myself and attempted to grab the leg of the attacker, but was too slow. Shit! I needed to think of some way to strike back while he was still toying around with me. Damn. As I ate his next attack, I suddenly came to realize something. This felt not entirely unlike that battle with Gethel, with both of my location and awareness and sense of distance robbed of me. Back then I figured I could, and in the end did, combat the lack of sight by simply feeling around for her presence. But here there were no sounds, no presence to detect, not even the stagnant air. In other words, by the time I detected the incoming strike, it had already hit me. The answer came without as much as a moment's hesitation. I merely tried to trick him. Other than the fact that he killed Samael, I knew nothing about Astaroth. Not even what he could be scheming here. Lucifuge exploded with anger. I chose my words carefully, intent on pulling some kind of clue out of him. Another strike accompanied the echo of his flustered voice. I could detect no prior indication of his attack, nor any shift in the environment as he struck. However, I remember the moment his attack struck me, carving it deep into my mind. The next time he struck, I could predict his movements. No matter how deep of a shadow he hid himself in, no matter how much he concealed his presence, and no matter how skillfully he commanded the flow of air through his magic, I would not let him deliver another blow. There we go. He aimed at my jaw. The moment his ice-cold fist came in contact with my skin, my body moved near unconsciously, assuming the position for a counterattack.
遅くした。
From grabbing his arm, I could calculate the location of his body. Using that, I would calculate his weakness and the most effective means of exploiting said weakness. Brandishing the Bacati sword with my free hand, I sliced his torso in half. It certainly felt that way. I followed it up by summoning one of the 7 beasts.
憤怒の罪よ。
Wrath's azure flames cloaked the hallway in a vivid bluish light, dispersing its shadows. Or so I thought. Jet black darkness drank up the flames, extinguishing them in a mere heartbeat. In a way, though, I had anticipated this. A second later, a solid incarnation of pure crystallized darkness bit into my flesh. Clenching my teeth, I did my best to suppress a scream. Having anticipated his attack, I tapped into the full extent of my magic to protect myself. I intentionally left my sense of pain intact, for through my cries of anguish I could command Lucifuge's heart. Lucifuge, the Chancellor of Hell and Astaroth's trusted right-hand man. His name is derived from the Latin phrase, "he who flees the light." That made me assume his weakness was light, but the reality of it was far from being that simple. However,
見えてきたぞ。お前が見えてきたと言ったんだ。
I rose to my feet, screaming into a darkness thick enough that I couldn't even see past my nose. It was no bluff. I had indeed begun to comprehend the workings of his darkness. Full comprehension would lead to understanding, acceptance, and victory. First off, I knew he was darkness incarnate, one who flees the light. This place was his very stomach, devoid of a sense of time and distance, cloaked only in darkness. Secondly, this place is his territory. In other words, a world already reshaped through the power of his raison d'être. Darkness gave people a variety of things. Fear, for example. Darkness robbed men of a fundamental ability needed to confirm their surroundings, thus instilling dread in their hearts. To look at the other end of the spectrum, some would conversely find comfort in darkness. For instance, people who committed dreadful crimes or schemed to do so. People who indulged in activities no righteous man would even utter. To them, the darkness would at times be a valued ally. Those who feared the darkness did so due to its concealing nature. Those who found comfort in the shadows did so precisely because it concealed all. In other words, Lucifuge concealed all things. Such was the true nature of his raison d'être. This place had turned into his realm of absolute, all-encompassing darkness, defying all light, feasting even upon raging fire, which led me to a certain conclusion. I accepted the darkness. If Lucifuge perceived me with a sense other than the basic 5, I needed to find something surpassing it. What I needed were eyes, ones that could see everything for what they truly were, just like hers.
空見、僕に力を貸してくれ。
Even if I couldn't perfectly reproduce her eyes, at the very least I could create something closely resembling it. I closed my eyes, creating a microcosm to combat Lucifuge's inner world with. It would resist the coming darkness and reveal all that was concealed.
この世はすべて機械が動かしている。
I shall conjure up a machine that exists only to grant my wishes, to trample over this never-ending darkness. With a sharp sound, my eye was born anew, my vision changing to something else. What once was pitch-black darkness now danced in vivid colors. Rather than a mere eye, it was rather a conversion device, replacing the stimuli received through hearing, touch, smell, taste, and intuition with pure sight. In that multitude of colors, I saw a being conspicuously lit up as bright red, slithering in the hallway. I could even tell the direction of the voice. It came not from the bright red light I had just seen, but something that felt like a loudspeaker given life. Upon more careful examination, I noticed that it had been set up in the hallway. I see. That couldn't be determined based on the voice alone.
スピーカーが設置されているな。あらゆる音が遠くから聞こえたり、近くで囁かれたりしていたのはこのせいか。
まさか見えるのか。
ああ、見えているぞ。
Fixing my gaze on the red light, I swung my sword in its direction. As I did, I saw the darkness partially sliced open and dispersing, just as I had expected. The darkness blanketing the area was a manifestation of Lucifuge's own inner world. As I inflicted damage upon him, his world too was affected. In short, as long as Lucifuge remained unharmed, his world would be absolute. Whoopsie. The more damage he received, the less stable his world would become. Just as I thought that, Lucifuge would seize the remaining darkness. He took and applied it to his own body, wearing it like a garment. Oh, now he's upside down. He lunged backward, landing on the ceiling. He stood upright, not even his hair yielding to the forces of gravity. Really? Kinda looks like it is right now. And from up there, he flashed the most wicked of grins my way. I felt his fighting spirit wither and die. The relentless bloodlust Lucifuge displayed a moment before had been extinguished like a fickle candle. Despite all that, I firmly held onto my sword, never once letting my guard drop.
最初から殺す気がなかったということか。
殺す気があれば最初の一撃で首をねじ切っている。
だろうな。
I did find it peculiar. Ignoring that final attack of his, I saw little point in him launching a barrage of half-hearted strikes. I could accept the fact that perhaps he had been toying with me out of pride, or simply because he displayed self-control, but Lucifuge was clearly not that kind of man.
お前と戦ったのはただ単純なる好奇心からである。第六階層で何を見たのか、それを知りたかったからである。何を
見逃されたと考えていいのか。
行け、天道刹那。このパンドラはもはや用をなさぬ。アダムが天国への門を開き、ワームホールをつないだ頃合いだ。この時点でアスタロト様の使命は終わりを告げた。
Adam's opening the gates of heaven? Wait, wormhole?
貴様は勘違いしている。我々が何かを企んでいる。何かを策している。すべては我らの陰謀であると、そう思っているのだろう。
そうだ。
Lucifuge sneered mockingly, his lips curling into a smile befitting a demon.
そうではない。陰謀などすでに終わっている。
Really? What?
走るなよ。そして残酷な真実を理解しよう。あの大天使の作り上げた東京バベル、そしてパンドランド、これで全てが終わるだろう。私はそれが心地よい。所詮悪魔よ、破滅と衰退、失墜と堕落こそが我が閲楽。生きあがくなど悪魔にふさわしくあるまいて。
The fear of darkness that gripped me until recently had now ceased to matter. Lucifuge's words felt like a dagger in the heart. With seemingly nothing more to do and say, the old demon made his leave. The scheme had long since ended. Moments later, I set out to rejoin my friends, yet not without Lucifuge's final words still ringing in my ears, filling me with a powerful sense of unease. I let Kugatsusormi pull me along as we both raced down the hallway.
ラジエル、しっかりして。
Oh. Her words poured new strength into my legs, yet a crushing sense of regret still hung over me. Did I truly do it? Did I cause the divine calamity? I could barely believe it myself. No matter how hard I tried to remember, my memories felt trapped behind a massive wall I could not overcome.
あ、リリスが来た。助けて。しょっぽい原因でも複数いじくり回すな疲れるわ。ほんと。
Lilith briefly cracked her neck, then gave my shoulder a light pat.
ちょっとあなた、何一人のんきに座り込んでいるわけ？私は。ああ、例のサマエルの自白？気にしなくていいわよ、そんなもん。気にしなくていいって、そんなわけないでしょ。いいわよ。どうせあんたのやったことなんて多分マグロの刺身のおつまみたいなもんだし。
That sounded awfully rude for some reason.
どういうこと？ね、確かにサマエルの言う通りラジエルはやっちゃったのかもしれない。あの震災をうっかり引き起こしたのかもしれない。でも それだけでしょ？
Lilith took a terrifying revelation out about my past and simply threw the entire thing out the window without hesitation.
まあ動機は知らないわよ。懇意なのかそうでないのか、殺意があったのかないのか、あなたが封印した記憶に全てが秘められているんだろうけどね。大体ね、ラジエル、あなたみたいな文学系の天使に世界を滅ぼされてたまりますか？世界はもうちょっとこう雰囲気のある悪役の手で滅ぼされるべきなのよ。
むちゃくちゃ言ってますな、リリ。
I felt the same way, unsure if she was trying to cheer me up or simply insult me. Still, it did make me get my act together somewhat.
私には何もわからない。何をしたのかもまだよ。
He told me not to flee. He told me to look reality straight in the eyes, accepting whatever I saw reflected in them.
どうするか考える。考えて考えて考えて最善を尽くす。
What I had to do was hardly anything special, really.
まあそれならそれでいいんじゃないの？
達観しているのか諦めているのか分かりゃしない。私は第6階層へと向かう。そこから第7階層へ、さらに天国の扉を開く。うん。
空には残った方が、いやどっちみちも無理か。パンドラも精神汚染の度合いがひどくなってるし。あ、今
Stormy gave her head a light bonk.
私感受性鈍いからかな。ちょっち頭痛がするくらいでなんともないや。
From the way she smiled at us, I doubted she was telling a lie.
本当に平気なのね。時間が許せば脳を調べてみたいわ。
脳ってどうやってですか？
I don't think you want to know the answer to that question.
そりゃ解凍手術よ。
Yep. Lilith chuckled at Stormy's exaggerated reaction. Somehow felt the atmosphere relax a bit. I wish to know the truth, I could not allow myself to die until then. I could never atone for what I did. My only choice for redemption would be death. And that in itself didn't particularly bother me. I would be content with it. Still, I first needed to recover my memories. I spotted someone running our way. The moment I did, a surge of joy, like a fire freshly lit, began to brush against my heart in waves. Feeling such a welling of emotions is sinful. I instinctively averted my gaze from him, from Tendao Setsuna. Joy was sin. I had to seal those feelings away. As insignificant as such an act may have been, this was nonetheless worthy of penance. I finally managed to regroup with the others. Raziel averted her gaze from me, appearing somewhat restless.
さてと、セツナも合流できたことだし、聞いてくれる？
Okay. Lilith produced a short series of claps, prompting all three of us to look at her. After confirming that she had our attention, the demon began to speak.
まあ遺憾ながら我々はカマエル率いる天使とアスタロト率いる悪魔たちに追われる身となってしまいました。
Yep.
わあ、すごい。キンブルさんみたい。
Who the fuck is Mr. Kimball? Stormy began to applaud.
なんであんたはそう古臭いのか。あ、それはともかく、この二人が第6階層までたどり着いたとのこと。
Yeah, I wonder how they're...
もうこの際だし、行っちゃいましょうか。
Sorry for interrupting. Yeah, I wonder how they're handling the mental contamination right now. Lilith pointed towards the ceiling.
本来の最終目的地、天国へ。まあ壊れるか死ぬかのろくでも情けな結末が待っているみたいだけど、その時は刹那がとどめを刺してくれるだろうし。
Lilith's smile remained unflinching as she said all those relatively extreme things. Extreme things, fuck!
僕もそのつもりだった。この東京バベル、必ず踏破してみせる。
というわけで、各自頭がぶっ壊れて誰かを傷つけそうになったら早めに伝えてね。私が始末つけてあげるから。
Okay. Lilith reminded us of the grim severity of our situation in her usual playful tone. That once a mind had been contaminated, the person in question, even if they were a friend or a comrade, had to be eliminated. However, I could still remember Gethel, Kuromiyako, and Uriel. I recalled how they acted as they surrendered their minds to madness. A gruesome, terrifying sight. Even more so should it ever befall one of our own.
分かった。
了解した。大丈夫だと思うんだけどな、私。なんとかなるって。
総天然色パノラマ少女の空見に言われてもあんまり説得力ないわね。
どういう意味じゃ。
Pretty much what it sounds like, I guess.
まあいいか。それでは今度こそ行きましょうか。
Stormy enthusiastically thrust her fist into the air. Urged by a sudden onset of nostalgia, I followed her cue and did the same.
にしても追いかけてくると思ったら天使も悪魔も来ないわね。
向こうが本気を出さなかったおかげでカマエルは撃退できた。
じゃあ悪魔たちは。なんか戦ってるみたい。
Stormy lazily cast her gaze at the sky, her transcendent eyes detecting something not even angels or demons could see.
戦ってるって誰と誰が？
In response to Lilith's inquiry, Stormy placed her hand slightly above her eyes, squinting to see better.
多分アスタロトさんと。
In the confines of his office, Astaroth found himself face to face with that certain man. He produced a cup of coffee from somewhere, which Belial graciously accepted.
へえ、苦いな。地獄の甘ったるいものよりこちらの方が好みでね。そうかい。ま、俺は甘党なんだけどな。
Well, at least me and Belial are on the same page here. The two carried on their conversation like a pair of old friends. Once he had gulped down the last drops of the coffee, Astaroth set his cup aside and turned to the other man.
それでどうしたのかね、ベリアル。まあ大したことじゃないんだ。カマエルがセツナと戦っているのを覗き見してたら、最後にセツナが面白い情報を喋っていたのでな。
Astaroth let out a sigh.
天道セツナはリリスたちに加担している罪人だ。君も手伝ってくれ。
Indeed, the Demon Lord was right. Belial ought to have interfered.
すまん、全くもってその通り。だが、男の怠慢を邪魔するのもどうかと思ったんだ。君はそういう性質だったな。だが、日本の法律に準ずるなら、決闘は罪だ。
Really? Oh, okay, yeah, I guess that makes sense, actually.
俺たちは存在そのものが罪深いだろう。例えば、震災を起こした容疑者を秘匿していたりとかな。
Ah. The truly fearsome part about Belial's declaration was that he uttered it in the same joking tone he had employed until now. The office's tranquil atmosphere never wavered. Belial's coffee too remained pleasantly hot. The Demon Lord displayed not a trace of anger.
何の話かな。弁解を聞こうじゃねえか、アスタルト。弁解か。しても構わんが、それだけか。俺は欲張りでね。できれば何もかも洗いざらい。お前が数千年溜め込んだものすべてを知りたいね。時間がかかりすぎるだろう。なら、事の発端からってのはどうだ？
Astaroth's laugh chimed in the air like a tiny bell.
では白状しよう。震災を起こしたのは俺だと言えよ。ラジエルはただのきっかけに過ぎんよ。
Ah.
おう、偽証は罪になるぜ。
Well, he's a demon.
偽証以上の罪を犯しているからね。なるほど。つまりあれか。お前さんが黒幕か。
There was a shift in the air then, pushing aside all traces of the room's previously soothing atmosphere. An ominous chill that permeated one's very bones, befitting the lowest layers of hell.
黒幕か。どうだろうな。俺は黒幕なのだろうか。
Just as his seething bloodlust reached its climax, Belial let out a booming guffaw. To Astaroth, this was a grave sign. Belial's expression may have been a mask of composure, yet a faint glimmer of the Demon Lord's genuine rage shone through his facade. No, it was, in fact, something more than that. Mere anger was no fiercer than a child's sparkler compared to the swamp of dark, murderous contempt lurking behind it. Anger and bloodlust were different emotions. The former abided by instinct, the latter by logic and reasoning. And Belial's reasoning whispered to the following into his ears. Make Astaroth part with that scheming head of his right here, right now. Then hurl it into the bubbling cauldron of hell and let it burn alongside his vile ambitions. Belial inclined his head to the side, his neck giving off an audible crack. He then touched his thumb to his middle finger and snapped. A moment later, an explosive blast hit Astaroth and room alike. All Belial did was ignite the magical energies exuding from his body. He required no complex incantation, nor a fixed set of movements. He didn't even need to focus his mind on producing the explosion. He simply decided that snapping his fingers would release his magical powers, and that was it. An average demon could produce but a feeble breeze with such a method. In Belial's case, however, its power rivaled that of a small nuclear missile. Naturally, by adjusting the vector of the attack, Belial himself received no damage from the blast. In any event, most angels or demons would not have only died, but been outright atomized by his attack. It was simply that powerful. Similarly, the demon on the receiving end of the attack was no fledgling either. Far from it. Astaroth came forward, not a single stain blemishing his unharmed clothes. Belial showed no hint of surprise at this. After all, the man before him was the so-called crowned Prince of Hell, a top-class demon lord, heralded as the sovereign ruler of the world. Smiling, Astaroth gave his fellow demon a tap on the shoulder. The whole action took but a fraction of a second. To say it happened in the blink of an eye would be an appropriate way to describe it, if Belial had the time to blink. Astaroth's technique relied on neither teleporting nor stopping time. He was simply fast enough that his movements remained unseen by the naked eye. Astaroth thrust his balled fist in front of Belial's eyes. Belial's lips curled to a broad grin. Ooh! A split second before Belial could hit Astaroth in the face, the latter responded with a counter, smashing his fist into the other's jaw. Belial's technique was non-existent. A mere pertinent way to put it would be to say that in most cases neither angels nor demons possessed skills that relied on their physical bodies. All they needed was magic, as well as the skills their respective weapons granted them. Astaroth, however, dabbled in the art of boxing for 100 or so years. He was a hardcore enthusiast who followed and studied with great interest the gradual evolution of mankind's boxing matches over the years. Belial lunged at his opponent, raising his fist to strike. Astaroth couldn't help but view his technique as that of an out-of-control dump truck. Belial was about to deliver a punch of considerable strength. Astaroth would once again position himself to prepare a counter. A moment later, Astaroth found his vision clouded by stars, almost like fireworks. Belial had just given him a headbutt akin to getting hit by a freight train. Damn. Indeed, Belial knew no elaborate fighting techniques. All he did was lower his own physical power to the level of mortals as he partook in brawl after for a good 1,000 years. Straight brawling jury. I like that. Or judge, there we go, that's better. Fists flew, crashed into muscle, and got repelled. With every vicious exchange, Astaroth felt an electric current of pain ravage his body, yet his heart fluttered with joy, enjoying every second of it. Belial felt the same. His fist cried out in agony every time it tasted the opponent's flesh, yet never once did he consider stopping. Belial cried out as the other buried his fist deep in his abdomen. Even as Belial launched punch after punch, each powerful enough to pulverize a tank, Astaroth continued on with an unfaltering smile. Belial lowered his guard for a heartbeat upon hearing the other demon's words, prompting Astaroth to deliver a kick to his head. The attack annihilated a deserted classroom, blowing Belial clean through a wall and outside to the athletics field. Damn! Angels and demons boasted of physical prowess far exceeding that of mortals. The base of their strength, however, was due primarily to magic. To put it in simple terms, the more magic they possessed, the higher ranked they were. At least, that was usually the case. Belial himself was a powerful, war-hardened combatant, a veteran warrior and lord of demons who survived battle after battle in their great war against the angels. However, Astaroth's physical abilities were, in a word, abnormal. He may very well possess the strength of a demon lord without relying on magic one bit. Belial had given up on defeating the other demon in a fistfight. That, however, didn't mean he gave up on victory altogether. After a brief sigh, he summoned his weapon. Belial looked over his trident. Astaroth, upon arriving at the athletics field, exhaled a sigh of awe as he beheld the weapon. Whoa. Holy shit, that thing looks cool! The trident's shape was beyond unordinary. Its steel handle covered in inscriptions of both blessings and curses written in myriad languages. The real problem, however, were the spikes at its tip. 3 in total, true to its name as a trident. However, with each rotation Belial gave his trusty weapon, the number of blades on its tip shifted and changed. From 3 to 2, from 2 to 4, it was impossible to tell. Abiding to no fixed law, the blades continued to change and change ever so subtly, even after Belial had stopped spinning the weapon. Belial's trident was an ever-prevalent mass of contradictions, imbued with both prayers aimed to save another and curses uttered to cause harm. Despite carrying the name of a trident, its sharpened tips freely changed their numbers from 1 to 9. The rules guiding it were by no means strict or regulated. If anything, it was ambiguous beyond measure, but the law itself was never without a tinge of bias to color its palette. Let us assume that a man had killed another in cold blood, whether his victim was a child or an adult. The fact that he murdered someone changed precious little. But what if said adult was a wretched blackguard hated by many? What if the child had been killed in a way so gruesome that no man could silence his compassion and pity? The crime of the latter far eclipsed that of the former. The law is never free from the human element, always leaving a trace of ambiguity in its wake. A loose string pulled at both ends, with each side wanting to expand their own territory. Such was the battlefield of the law, this landscape pregnant with elements defying linguistic expression. After Astaroth gave a respectful bow, Belial gestured with his palm, inviting the other to battle. A bitter smile crept onto Astaroth's lips. He shook his head, then shrugged. A quick glance revealed 3 demons standing in the window. Dishonorable asshole.
要するに1対1で何の保険もなく戦ってうっかり敗北するのが怖くて仕方ねえから突っかかるしか脳のないバカどもを鉄砲玉として送り込むってことだろ。
I like you, Belial.
かっこいいこと言ってごまかしてんじゃねえぞ。
Belial's roaring guffaw reverberated in the air, earning contemptuous looks from the three demons. Astaroth went on with unwavering composure.
悪いさ。悪いが。ま、俺がお前の立場だったら同じことするだろうな。よし、バール、アガレス。それからマイカ。そこのやつ。お前らにかけてる時間が惜しいので、悪いがまとめてきてくれ。
Well, as long as it's not Carnage Ball, I think you'll be able to beat him easily. Holy shit! Astaroth's henchmen, or to be more precise, Lucifuge's own confidants, were called Baal, Agares, and Mavis. I've always pronounced it Baal, but I guess it's really actually pronounced Baal. Baal had 3 heads. One looked like a frog, another like a cat, and yet another like a cowardly king. His lower body was that of a giant spider. Agares was an elderly man with soft features, riding a crocodile while holding a hawk in one hand. Finally, Mavis was a person with a lion's head. Wow, Baal, you look nothing like the Baal I'm used to. Each of them commanded a legion of demons, so it came as no surprise that Belial's provocation would anger them. All 3 lunged at Belial in unison, none of them showing any restraint. Baal released all his magical power through his 3 mouths. Agares sent his crocodile to battle, while Mavis bared his lying fangs at the Demon Lord, ready to tear him to bloody shreds. Each demon had their own unique skills to them. They had no intention of unleashing their raison d'etre, their trump cards right at the start of the battle. If all 3 of them attacked at once, the chances of victory were high. Furthermore, the possibility remained that one demon would engulf the other 2 in his attacks. It was a severe, ultimately lethal mistake. The man before them was Belial, a being whose name carried the meaning of the Worthless One and was scorned as a demon lord most vile. Lacking any hesitation whatsoever, Belial had just unleashed his own raison d'etre. His trident was awash with limitless possibilities, an entanglement of chaotically complex emotions, phenomena, and situations. Mixing that into a momentary reality caused an explosion colossal enough to dwarf even the most powerful of magics. In fact, the word explosion might not even do it justice. The very air visibly trembled in a 100-meter radius as Belial swung his terrible instrument. That very same area had been completely eradicated without a trace, leaving only Astaroth in the background to exhale a tired sigh. Needless to say, his 3 underlings had completely perished.
君が天使との戦いで無敵を誇っていた理由がよくわかるよ。概念としての潜在性を固定化することによる追消滅斬撃というわけ。切り札は見せたが、どうということもあるまいよ。
Belial's words rang true. He may have openly displayed his raison d'etre, but that didn't mean he also revealed how one could effectively combat it. What he did back then was cause a clash between a myriad possibilities. The possible and the impossible. The be and not be. The is and isn't. Thus birthing a phenomenon of complete annihilation. Reflecting or disabling such an attack was impossible, for when he unleashed it, an enormous volume of data carrying void manifested at the same time, purging all existence in its path. The Demon Lord Belial, jurist of hell, his position demanding him to stand as judge for the wicked and the just, black and white, hope and despair. Such was his raison d'etre. Belial's faith in his own attack was absolute and unwavering. His weapon struck down countless angels and would be the end of Astaroth as well, he thought. Unfortunately, Belial, a demon lord himself, had never once fought another demon lord before. And that was indeed why he failed to take notice of the obvious, the true nature of Astaroth's own raison d'etre.
君のレゾンデートルは確かに見せた。そしてそれゆえに告げ、君ここで死んでもらうことにする。おお。
Belial gave a mocking jeer. Astaroth, on the other hand, extended his hand towards the other, almost as if he wanted a handshake.
その技、もう一度俺に見せてみろ。正気 無論正気だとまだ狂気に陥るほど汚染はされてないつもりだ。
Astaroth did not flinch at all. Even after seeing Belial's attack a moment before, he remained calm and composed. Belial was confident that Astaroth had no means of overpowering him or his technique. And even if by some miracle he did, it would not be an issue. Not at all. Belial, being Belial, prepared an ace up his sleeve, one that the other demon could never evade. Belial gave his Alber's fork a handful of spins. With each turn of the trident, the heavens shook and the earth trembled as the Demon Lord's weapon engulfed all around it. The infinite expanses of space, the laws of nature, bound by infinity, the world's most powerful weapons and armor, and he who birthed a false truth, an untrue reality. And so his blade sang, encompassing all contradictions of the cosmos. Belial controlled it through the decree known as law. With the instantaneous convergence of Belial's magic, the wind itself had died to a calm, yet all Astaroth did was stand his ground. That wasn't entirely true, though. He was whispering something under his breath. Naturally, Belial heard every single word, but realized they were utterly meaningless. The trident trembled in anticipation, waiting for its master's command. The time for release was nigh. An attack that would annihilate all and nothing it touched. Its next target was Astaroth. Surprisingly enough, Astaroth seemed in no mind to even try to evade. He simply stood his ground, his arms crossed over his chest. Astaroth's whisper echoed the following. Astaroth and Belial, much like Baal and the other two, possessed a form befitting a true demon, terrifying and repulsive, having once haunted the imagination of mankind. Yet taking such a form made it exceedingly difficult to exist among humans. Here in Tokyo Babel, where one's magic and mental capacity was of vital importance, the vast majority of demons took on humanoid forms. Nonetheless, Astaroth now saw it fit to revert to his original form. Naturally, it held no particular meaning. He did not take this form to become stronger or faster. Nor did he do it in order to intimidate Belial, for what would be the point? The jurist of hell was a demon lord, same as Astaroth. So why then did he transform? Why did he choose to return to his original appearance? It all became clear once Belial's attack had died down. Belial's strike of complete annihilation, the Arbiter of Hope, had completely engulfed Astaroth. It gave him complete, thorough destruction, or at least, it should have.
Belial, お前は致命的な過ちを犯した。お前は地獄の法学者。それゆえにあらゆるものを固定化できると信じていた。
Fuck, that is badass! Astaroth had reverted to his original form, one befitting a so-called crowned Prince of Hell. He rode atop a blue, two-headed dragon. His right arm was clad in a steel serpent, the crimson of blood blotting his 6 wings, while snake-like scales littered his exposed skin.
忘れたか、ベリア。我ら魔王、かつて神でもあった。かつて私がイシュタルだった。魔王たちの多くは、もとより矛盾をはらんだ存在。
Damn!
潜在性を固定化させることによる追消滅を起こさせ、その一撃は天使たちには無敵を誇っただろう。人間、下級悪魔とだが俺は違う。祝福さ、呪われる矛盾だらけの俺は違う。
Astaroth's tone took on a melancholic edge. To a surprising degree, in fact. The dragon's twin heads as well as Astaroth's own serpent claw hand were now directed at Belial.
ベリア、俺は君に好意を抱いていた。共にこの東京バベルで生き抜こうとした仲間として。10秒先の未来のために全てを捨てた。
Astaroth's lips slithered into a snake-like grin.
私は最後まで彼には誠実でありたい。
Serpent and dragon roared in unison.
最後にベリオ、我がレゾンデートルを教え。
Affectionate hate? To love someone to death, yet at the same time loathe them to the point of murder. Such was his innate duality, a demon lord harboring a fundamental contradiction, the carrier of an ultimate contradiction that no arbiter could ever hope to consolidate. That was the raison d'être of Astaroth.
なるほど。そりゃ、俺が叶わないわけだ。
Belial let a faint smile overtake his features as he accepted the reality of his imminent doom. There was nothing left for him to do, nothing left to convey. Certainly he would be left with regret at letting Astaroth live here, but... As the spiraling blade impaled his body, Belial, still a smile on his lips, uttered the following in a low breath.
後悔はないさ。あとはよろしく頼むぜ。天使長。
Astaroth was rendered paralyzed. Even without turning around, he knew something was being aimed at the back of his head.
俺だ。
Holy shit! The angel pulled the trigger, propelling a .45 long Colt bullet into the back of Astaroth's head without missing its mark, thus constraining the demon lord's body. Astaroth's contradiction had been shattered to pieces by Camiel's rage.
罰。そしてお前は死に値する。
Astaroth, once again in his human form, collapsed onto his knees like a prisoner awaiting execution, a bitter smile coloring his lips.
死をくれるのか。
ああ。
かつて望んだことだが、苦しく恐ろしいものなのだな。
望んだ？
カマエル、俺を殺したところで、この世界の崩壊は止まらない。東京バベルは崩壊し、地は海に沈み、天は永遠にその扉を閉ざしたままだろうさ。
だから見逃せとでも言うのか。
いや違う。我々が死に絶えたこの世界がどうなるか。それが少しだけ知りたかった。
俺には希望がある。
ほう。
それが死に絶えた後でゆっくりと考えることにするよ。
Smiling, Astaroth exhaled a sigh.
では、さらばだ。我が
Fuck! The angel's executioner's blade claimed Astaroth's head, which then slowly tumbled onto the ground. Once Belial had confirmed Astaroth's final moments, he found himself liberated from pain. He closed his eyes, at long last surrendering himself to the embrace of death.
ベリオルも言ったか。
The word gone wasn't particularly accurate in this case. They did not go anywhere. They perished for good, never to return. Camiel wondered how far Adam had made it. The angel once believed that Adam opening the gates of heaven would bring an end to their hardships, but that train of thought had to be amended. Opening the gates of heaven would solve nothing. In a predicament as dire as theirs, the angels were faced with a choice.
ラジエルよ。お前はできるのか。お前には。
Their choice was not a matter of possibility, but necessity. Even Camiel realized that, yet it still bordered on the impossible.
信仰を捨てることがお前にできるのか。
I don't know, it was pretty easy for me. The very thought filled him with dread. For an angel, their devotion to God was as fundamental as breathing, sleeping, or eating was to mortals. Casting it aside was akin to dying a slow, agonizing death. However, no matter how much Camille pondered the issue, he could not think of no reason that would elicit such severe torment to befall them. Nay, all mortals and angels of every parallel world. A trial from God. Many had been performed in the past, but none were like this. To be rewarded with ruination for not succeeding at the trial was the stuff of madness. No matter how loud they scream, how many tears they shed, God would not answer. If so, then... But, no, that would be... But then, even still...
カマエル様どうした仲間たちがコーラスの影響で壊れ始めました他の天使たちを食らって力をつけ始めています止まりません
Uh-oh.
何くそどういうこと
天使長、ワームホールから壊れた天使たちが
ワームホールどこからだ
天国からです。おそらくアダムが作り出したワームホールです。天国から連中押し寄せてきます。
It's all Adam's fault. Let's kill him. Ooh. But unfortunately, that's where I'm going to have to end it. You feel free to hate me, honestly, but... Damn. Holy shit, a lot of shit happened in this episode. I'm kind of glad I actually had enough time to kind of get this done, thankfully. So, damn. Well, one of my favorite characters, Belial's gone. What the shit? I like that guy. He was cool. Camille had a sort of moment of redemption there, which is good. Well, then again, I didn't expect him to be the one to end Astaroth, though. Lucifer's not going to be too happy about that. Well, we better go kick Adam's ass for kind of unleashing hell upon hell. Wait. Armageddon. I don't even know how to describe that. All I know is that it's all Adam's fault, let's kick his ass. Actually, I'm going to say it's probably Eve, if I had to guess. Like, she seems like a mastermind of sorts, so I think Eve would be, like, the biggest mastermind. A mastermind behind the mastermind. Behind the cause of the calamity, which is orchestrated by the mastermind himself, and I'm going to give myself a headache if I keep talking, so unfortunately, that's where I'm going to end it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and holy shit, thank God the power didn't go out.